Welcome. Remember to Chess with TV episode 328. Today is January 28th, 2017, and we are very excited to welcome a special guest on the show today, Lichess Master Atrophied, who is a whiz, a literal whiz at Crazy House, is on the show with me right now. We're going to add him in a moment. Crazy House is a chess variant where you get to continually add pieces to the chessboard until you win, and he is a master. So we're going to play Crazy House with him. We're going to get a chance to learn a thing or two about how to lose at Crazy House. That'll be my job. Or how to win. That'll be his job. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump over there right now and add him to the show. Click, click. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Can we hear you? Let's test the microphone levels. Say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. You guys who are watching live, just let me know if anybody's too loud or too quiet, because I can't really tell as well as you can. So Atrophied, let me give you a moment to introduce yourself. And I specifically want to hear how you first learned about Crazy House and what you thought of it.
Yeah, so my name is Atrophied, or Nicholas, in person. I play a lot of Crazy House on Lichess, and I first learned about Crazy House in middle school, although I think before that even I'd learned about Bug House, which is kind of a four-player version of Crazy House. And
Right. Yeah, I learned about Bug House first as well. Over the board, it's pretty hard to play Crazy House. Have you played much over the board?
Yeah, sometimes you can play over the board, but you have to be constantly swapping out the pieces. I think there are some special sets that have two-sided flat pieces, which work well, but I've never actually seen one of those in person.
Yeah. So what did you think when you learned Crazy House? Is this like, oh, Bug House but better, or is it like Bug House but worse?
In person, I like the social aspect of Bug House more, but
Yeah.
online, especially before Skype got so common, I think I started to enjoy Crazy House a lot.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Bug House, you actually have a teammate. It's another chess variant, and you both capture pieces and give them to each other. So it's very, very high pace, exciting game. There's 2 chess clocks. You can either one run out of time. If you checkmate on either board, you win. But online, without an ability to communicate easily, it's completely different. So Crazy House is perfect for online because you don't have that aspect. Although I am looking forward to Bug House online on Lichess sometime in the next 100 years. So that's going to be good too.
Yeah, I'd love if they added it.
So you focused on, how did you become so good at Crazy House? Because I know most people, they play chess, Crazy House on the side, they don't really focus on it. So what is the secret to focusing on Crazy House?
Well, I think I was better at it, and I like winning, so kind of started focusing on it that way.
Uh-huh.
Um, Crazy House is like not exactly pure tactics, but it's much more tactical than chess, and tactics is my biggest strength in chess, so yeah, just
Nice.
kind of was a natural fit.
So did you find opponents that were a challenge in your area, or did you go online pretty quickly?
I played pretty much all online.
Okay.
There were some people in my area who were better than me even, but I didn't get to see them that often. So
Cool. Well, if there's anything else you want to say, you should say it now because we're about to start a game of Crazy House.
no, let's play.
All right. Just variant Crazy House. Got to do this part right. Random side. In my opinion, white has a huge advantage in Crazy House, much better than the advantage in chess. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think yeah, the advantage in Crazy House matters more because tempi matter more in Crazy House. Um, the ability to move first and kind of take the initiative is more important in Crazy House than in chess.
That makes sense. Yeah, so let's hope I get the white pieces.
But I don't think I don't think it's going to be a forced win for white or anything. I don't think it'll get solved.
Well, although it couldn't be solved just yet because of its complexity, it probably, when it is solved, will be a white win, just because there is an edge there, don't you think?
Mm, or it could be a draw because of the ability to recycle pieces. I'm not sure.
Really? Could be a draw. You've heard it first here from Atrophied on Lichess. In my opinion, it's got to be a white win. Even anti-chess is a white win. It was recently solved. So Crazy House has no hope, but that's just my thought.
Yeah, I mean anti-chess is also very forcing.
Yes, that's true. That's
I
true.
I feel comfortable making that prediction because I don't think it'll be solved in my lifetime.
I do,
Uh-oh.
unless you've got cancer.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I see you've sacrificed a bishop already.
Yeah, I'm trying to prove this initiative matters more.
Oh, this is a very dubious sacrifice. You don't have any further checks here. But I am tempted to just play d6 and let my knight go. I wonder if that's too stupid. Well, let's try it. And then I'm going to try to prevent trades. Oh, good luck there. So, do you think I'm in trouble already here? Did I need to do something else?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't give back the knight because
Hmm.
now, like, your compensation for me potentially having an attack was the extra material, and you
Hmm.
don't have so much extra material now.
Right. I'm thinking of giving up the bishop as well because I'm crazy. That's not going to work. Let's play this move. I'm going to self-destruct here in just a moment.
Yeah, now I have. Uh, there's a saying in chess. Now I have both the pawn and the compensation, and in this case, now I have both the piece and the compensation.
I think you are ahead of piece and you have the compensation, which is bad for me.
Yes.
Well, that sacrifice certainly caught me out guard. I'm going to resign here. It's only a few moves till you checkmate me. So when
Yep.
you give up that bishop, I need to keep my piece on the board and not be so quick to give it back. So one of the things I struggle with in Crazy House is the checkmates come so fast and furiously that I'm just so tempted to throw away all my pieces to try to get a checkmate. How do you stay calm and how do you have the idea of when you should throw everything away for the checkmate?
Well, I'm a pretty materialistic player, so I like to hold on to my material. I'll usually only, well, it's a bit different. Actually, in the arena tournaments on Lichess, they have these arena style tournaments, and and in that one, sometimes it's better to play aggressively because they're not Swiss style. You get more points basically if you can finish your games fast. So
Right.
sometimes there I'll play dubious sacrifices, but if I'm playing like a match, then I'll hold on to stuff until I see something very concrete.
Right. So what you're saying is when you're playing against random opponents in arena, they might be lower strength. You want to beat them quickly. But maybe in an even level, you don't want to be so risky.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I do the same thing. The King's Gambit is one of my favorite openings in chess because it kind of sets the opponent off guard. But when I'm playing someone at my level or above, I'm not too comfortable playing that because there are ways to give white a pretty hard time. I reserve it for people who are bad. So if I played King's Gambit against you, congratulations. So I see you paused for a moment there, so I've got you into a new position here.
Yes, I was thinking.
I really want to royally fork you with a knight on e6.
Do it.
I think right now there's too many defenders. If I play pawn takes pawn, maybe I can give you a headache. I could also just add a knight on f7. And that fork seems a little bit slow. I'm gonna try this move. I don't feel too bad about my position right now.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Wonder if I can play this safely. Probably not. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Because you're going to pick up a queen. Oh, no. It is so easy to make one small mistake and get checkmated.
Yeah, Crazy House is pretty unforgiving. The other thing there was that when you took my bishop, I could take back with the queen and you wouldn't have your forking idea on e6 anymore. Also, it's funny that
Yes.
I just subconsciously drew some arrows. I'm so used to streaming.
Okay, so I'm imagining that when I took your bishop there, I'm drawing the arrows now. This queen moving to c8 was covering the fork anyway. So not only did I not have a threat that was effective, I also did not have an ineffective threat. So
Yeah,
I
so
want to at
better.
least have ineffective threats when I play chess. That's my goal.
Yeah.
So far today, we've played double king pawn openings, which I'm more comfortable with because at least you're taking a stake in the center. How much do you see that in your games, and what other openings are viable?
Um, so I usually open with e4 and I usually meet e4 with e5.
Hmm.
You can definitely play d4. You can, against e4, you can definitely play. There's actually a lot of openings that are viable. I mean, maybe less than chess. Stuff like the Sicilian or the Caro-Kann, where you're moving the c pawn early,
Hmm.
those tend not to be so good because of the hole on c7, and there's the potential to just drop something in there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you can also play the French is black. You can. There's a lot of lines actually where you just sacrifice a knight for a pawn, and your compensation is that you end up with a really solid structure on the king side. Um,
Sacrifice a knight for a pawn as Black, you mean?
Yeah, like e4, knight f6, e5, and then you just play something like d5 and kind of dare them to take on
Yes, I actually
f6.
watched your YouTube video on that. For those of you guys watching, go to YouTube and search for Atrophied. Not only will we get videos of people's legs rotting off, but you'll also find this video of losing a knight in the opening as black. And we actually did an episode about that because even though you're down a knight, your position's very solid. And that's on Atrophied's channel. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a good, I mean, I play pretty, this is losing for you, by the way.
Oh, thanks for telling me. I'm kind of like a blind man wandering around in a maze, and you not only do you have the light, but you also have the lantern, and you also have the bird's eye view and the map and everything else. So you know exactly when I stepped off the cliff, and I know a few minutes later. So I want to ask about this position because I get this a lot where we have a symmetrical position. When you played knight d5 and attack my pinned knight, I'm very uncomfortable because I can't really block that pin, and I'm going to mess up my pawn structure on the king side after the g pawn takes. Is knight takes knight my only option, and do I have a game after that?
Yeah, after knight takes knight and I take your queen, you should play knight takes d8 there. This knight f4 stuff is something that I used to play, but bishop takes f7 unfortunately just refutes it.
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
that's where you say, oh, you lose.
yeah, and so I had to stop playing this as black because I used to quite like this line for black.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did you play this line before you realized that it wasn't so good?
Um, I played it for like the first few months that Lichess had Crazy House,
Uh-huh.
and then Jan Lee crushed me in it quite a few times, and I realized that it was just losing.
Yeah, nothing like losing a lot of games in a row with the same opening to double think what you thought about that opening.
Yeah, I was very stubborn about it too. I remember that I didn't believe it was losing
Yeah.
for quite a while.
So knight takes d8, you take my d5 knight after that. And where's my game coming from? Because I've lost my queen.
Well, let's play another game where I have black, and I'll try to show you. But the idea is that you try to get pressure on f3, basically.
On
So
f3.
I'll
All
see
right.
if I can show you that.
Let's play that line and find it. Pin that. Knight c3, and now you're giving up your queen, which I'm happy about. So I'm going to take this with the bishop because it keeps the pin. And the good part is that I have the extra queen, though.
Yeah, taking with the bishop is right because excuse me, because you don't want to block it in with the c pawn. I keep drawing arrows, jeez.
That's all right. I'm imagining that the arrows are there. My brain actually has auto arrow, so when you say stuff, the arrows just show up in my brain. So it works
Nice.
perfectly. So I have a queen to drop, which is almost useless against your barrage of minor pieces because I don't want to trade it. But my knight seems pretty useful. Do you like knight at g3 or knight at h4, knight at f5? Are these good defensive moves here?
Yeah, you probably should reinforce f3. The theory move is queen at g5.
Oh, adding the queen right away.
Yeah, and then black usually plays knight at g6. But in general, you don't want to let me double, like you don't want to allow bishop takes f3 where you'd have to take back with the pawn.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to play my knight on the rim, which is dim. Very
Mhm.
fitting for my strategy here, but hopefully that will protect f3 a bit more. And I see, because you didn't checkmate me this move, maybe I'm okay.
Pretty hard to find a mate in one from here.
All you have to do is move a rook pawn and say, oh, this is losing for you, and I'll believe you.
Really? Um, hmm.
Ah, I think.
Yeah, this is unfamiliar to me.
This is like a win for me. If I can get you to a position where instead of saying, oh, this is lost, you actually think, oh, that is so good.
Let's go with this.
So I'm ahead, so just trade down for the win, right?
In chess.
I see a lot of attackers on f3. Does this work? Let's see if this is helpful. If you get 4 knights in a knight row, then you instantly win. So I'm going for that.
Well, I have the fourth one. Although, we'll see how long I keep it.
Oh, this is so painful. And you're going to add another bishop on I6. Now let's play this move and see how you checkmate me. At least it relieves the pressure.
I don't know that I found the most accurate sequence.
Your king is remarkably protected.
Yeah.
See if this works. Going for the defense and the offense, trying to cause trouble on e6. Uh-oh. Oh no, this is getting worse. Oh, okay. I lose my queen. Now I feel like it's a balanced game because I gave the queen back.
It's very generous.
Okay, this is mate though. Take, and then queen in. Oh man. Okay, so that's what you do. So I didn't even think about bishop at h5 when I was asking the question. Let's go back a little bit. You know, knight d5. I'd sack the queen, and then knight d8, and bishop takes d5. So bishop at h5 is really key, powering, you know, adding more power to that pin, to that diagonal.
Yeah,
So
that's
is
the
that a
whole.
common? I know that, you know, bishop b5, bishop g5, these kinds of pins are really common in chess and also in Crazy House, because when the bishop takes the knight, you've got a knight to drop, which can't be blocked by check. So the bishops love to come out to those squares. Do you often add another bishop behind that to create a strong battery?
Yeah, I'll keep adding pressure if I have the opportunity. And I think the pins are more impactful in Crazy House than they are in chess.
Well, okay. Except for this one, because I just left the pin. So let's see how you can defend against the barrage of bishops. A knight at
Yeah.
g6. You gave me the clue right there.
Yes. And now, yeah, bishop takes b7, which is an interesting kind of modern innovation here.
So this is probably saying there's no forced checkmates or amazing tactics. I'm just going to pick up a little more material.
Yeah, to be honest, this is a move that I don't know very well. I've just seen that people have started playing this against me, so I know that it must be some kind of new theory.
That's a great way to learn openings, is lose to them for a while.
Yeah.
That's exactly the technique I'm using right now. So once again, I'm not being as materialistic perhaps as I should, giving up the rook. I'm learning that perhaps my style is too sacrificial, just valuing the positional aspect and the safety of the king way more than being ahead in pieces. Too much more. Would you say that's true based on what you've seen so far?
I don't know. Interestingly, you gave back more than I thought you should in the first game, if I remember right.
Right. That's what I'm talking about, like the weakness of not valuing the material and just giving it back because I feel like I need that extra move to
Oh,
patch up my position.
yeah, so maybe you should be more materialistic. I don't really know what I'm doing here, to be honest.
Well, I see you're giving me a queen. That's pretty generous.
Yeah, 2 queens potentially.
2 queens. Oh, I appreciate it. 2 queens. Wow. I could look forward to a third queen if you had that opportunity. Okay, so I could take another queen. But see, this is the kind of position where I would play pawn takes pawn because I just feel like, you know, material is nice, but I need to make sure my position is not in too much danger. If I take your queen and you play pawn takes pawn, I recapture, then you drop a knight on f5 check. And then I'm hurting. You have all those knights. I'm going to play pawn takes pawn. So I guess I'm not greedy enough. That's step one. Learn to be greedy.
Yeah, I think you're hurting here.
Dying again. That's my superpower. Is dying multiple times. Most people only get one death. You know, the frame the
You're the
saying is,
opposite of a cat.
yeah, it's, you know, you've heard Yoda, which is you only die once. It's not true for me.
Maybe I'll just take this.
I die every game. Okay, so you're threatening queen h7 with the jumping queen tactic. And you've
I'm
also
not
got...
familiar with that one.
This is my defensive move. I feel like adding powerful pieces around your king is a big waste of them. Is that true as a rule of thumb?
Yeah, usually, I mean, sometimes you have to, but generally speaking, yeah.
I'm going to resign. I don't want to see that. No, no, I didn't see that. There's no bishop there. There's definitely no checks to my king right now. This position does not exist. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, so now I'm going to play at 500 points higher rated level strength. I'm just going to really outplay you starting right now.
I'm gonna mix it up. I'll
So
play a
French.
French.
I tried French for several games, found nothing good, but when I play against French, I also find nothing good. So definitely need some more familiarity here.
Yeah,
But this, go
in
ahead.
chess I don't enjoy to play either against the French, and I never play the French as black. In
Hmm.
Crazy House I enjoy playing against the French, but I rarely play this
Mm-hmm.
as black because I don't like the light squared bishop. It's just a bad piece.
Right. Well, one thing I've picked up from playing this opening is that the c pawn doesn't like to move because it's guarding d6, and without it, d6 can be very weak. Do you move your c pawn in the French?
No. Although I've seen that the engine likes to, so
Oh, really? How
perhaps
strong
I'll
is
try here.
this engine that likes to do this exactly?
Yeah, it's the stockfish on Crazy House. It's quite good actually.
Good enough to win. That's like my threshold. Is it beating everybody it plays? Okay, it's pretty good. So
Hmm.
if I play pawn at d6 right now, you'll happily trade the bishop for those two pawns, I'm guessing. And you'll be glad I gave that to you.
Maybe,
I'm just
maybe
going to
not.
keep moving. Oh, so what happens here?
Um, yeah, I don't
Um,
want to allow the queen trade because my king is potentially exposed.
right, trades are very bad for the defender, which is
Mhm.
opposite from chess.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting difference you just pointed out.
Hmm. Right, there's a very strong rule of thumb in chess, which is if you're trying to defend a position, you should offer trades. And
Yeah.
get trades, really. Don't just offer them. Demand trades. Say, if you don't trade, I'll cut off your head. And then when you get those trades, it's easier to defend. But in Crazy House, trades just make everything worse. So once again, I've been too generous with the material, it seems.
Maybe. I am, yeah, I mean, I am ahead now. Is it one pawn, maybe? One or two pawns, depending on how you look at it. Um,
You can double count everything if you want to feel more ahead.
yeah, but the counterpoint is that it's easier to get anything back.
Hmm. I guess that's true. You can't just regain one pawn. So you're only ahead one unit right now. One capturing unit. I feel that these center pawns, though, are very valuable pawns because they can disrupt my pieces pretty easily.
Yeah, the central control still matters in Crazy House.
Hmm.
Um,
One thing I'm learning is that if you don't know your openings in Crazy House, it seems even more painful than in chess because there's so many opening traps. Would you say that's true?
yeah, I think that is true.
Yikes. I just keep falling. It's like every game almost. I'm lucky to escape the opening against you.
Somebody asked about bishops versus knights, and I think that does depend on the position. I think beginning players tend to prefer knights because of the forks, but the
Right.
nice thing about bishops is they're really good at attacking and defending at the same time.
Hmm. Well, coming from Bughouse, knights are definitely better because, well, because they jump over any blocking piece. So I wonder if that just kind of carries over. People think, well, Crazy House is like Bughouse, knights must be better.
Hmm.
I must be a beginner because I think knights are better. Okay. I see that we're mixing it up a little here. Oh no, the one time I got into a position that wasn't checkmate immediately. But maybe it is actually. So I could take this with the rook. Nope, you've got a bishop on that on b8. And if I take it with the bishop, I lose my center knight.
Yeah,
Oh, and that was a great move, pawn f4. It's not easy to see because
the bishop on
I'm
b8 is
blind.
hiding.
Because it's so far away. It's really hard to look really long distances. Chessboards are huge, man. That was exciting. So French defense, and you move the c pawn. I'm gonna have to try that in my games because I've been so scared of stuff coming in on d6. I'm gonna try that right now. So I guess the idea is if he puts something on c6, you just sacrifice the bishop for it right away.
Yeah, that's probably generally true.
Okay, so queen a5 check. You block with knight. This looks pretty good. Oh, except now I don't have the queen attacking d6. Oh, this is gonna be so painful. I'm abandoning my home base here. So painful. Yes, and this is just as bad in Crazy House as it is in Bug House, when the net of pawns come toward you.
Yeah, I mean, the one nice thing is that I'll only have what I take. I don't have anyone to feed me.
Yeah, but then the other nice thing is that you take. Nice for you. So you're going to take an awful lot.
Yeah, this looks relatively painful for you.
Okay, we're dropping frames here, so let me see if I can improve this. Stream output. Bitrate. This might help.
Also, to answer Brandon, yeah, people play Crazy House in real life, just not as much.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I have played it in real life, and you have a second chessboard next to your chessboard. It is
Yeah,
so
and you have to
confusing.
swap them out. You also
So you
have to be
can,
playing with people you trust because it's pretty easy to just grab extra pieces.
right. Although after the game, you could say, well, how did that work? I'm sure the higher level you are, the more easier it is to catch cheating. I find that's true in any
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I
Um,
definitely agree.
when I was a beginner in chess, rooks would appear, disappear, and I would not even notice. Oh no, I'm checkmated now.
Yep.
So I've got to watch d6. If I'm going to move that c pawn, I cannot play queen a5 and just abandon my dark squares.
Yeah, it's very tricky to play with moving the C pawn.
Interesting, interesting. Well, we have time for about 2 more games.
Okay.
So we'll take one with each color here. Oh, yeah, this really blows my mind. How can you even play this? You must be toying with me. Okay,
I
so
don't
we
know, I just
trade.
want to mix it up a bit because I tend to
What?
always play the same stuff.
What? Well, as the white player, I've got the extra move here, so let's just... Okay, now I have to save the bishop, or do I? So this is the kind of thing where, I just play d4, lose the bishop, but I'm learning from my mistakes. Keep the material. Very nice. Okay, so now I can't play d4. Oh, this is serious. But now I can. Oh, now it would not be wise. You take the knight, I take the bishop, you take the queen, and I'm going to get checkmated. Man, it's amazing how you got the initiative here as the black player. I
Yeah,
guess
well, I
it's
sacrificed a pawn for development.
right, it's part of the pawn sacrifice. Now you've got material, which is, I'm comfortable with this. I'm used to being down material.
Well, I don't think I am up material because I sacked the pawn at the beginning.
Oh, let's count. I've got 8, 2, 2, and 2. Yeah, I guess it's the same. Plus I got the bishops, which I just learned is the better piece if you can attack and defend at the same time. And use it better than a knight. So c7's open, and I'm attacking it, and you're not defending it. This is a great opportunity. Oh, this is my chance to run out of time. Let's see, pawn, knight, knight. I'm thinking about b3 and bishop a3, but it's probably too slow. I want more trades. Let's keep bringing the pieces out. Oh no, my bishop, no! I'm going to offer a take back. Maybe this guy's really nice. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's so nice! Wow, you are such a gentleman. A scholar and a gentleman. That's fantastic. Okay, now I'm not guarding c7. Take, take, take. Okay, that would be illegal. Oh, wow. And now you've opened up the bishop to g4 so you can put a knight there. But you're not even doing it.
Yeah, I don't have quite enough to make that work, I don't think.
So, it seems I have a habit of ignoring threats. Just want to pick it up from playing these games. Something's under attack? Good, leave it there. Probably something I need to improve in my game. This looks
Yeah.
exciting.
Okay.
Okay, I'm semi-alive right now.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well, I'd say.
Pawn f5? Oh, not too bad. Pawn takes pawn, maybe? Let's take this. The tension is too much for me. Oh, oh no, and pawn f5 would have prevented that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
pawn f5 was the better move,
Yeah, keep those bishops out of my house.
because now I'm getting the queen back, presumably.
No. No. Let's open up my king in an effort to die quicker. I have a queen. But you have a queen too. Chopping frames again. I hope the YouTube video is okay. I'm struggling
Yeah.
with my, because we're running the Skype connection at the same time, I'm going to try turning off the camera just as a test.
Sure.
You want to turn that off there with a click of a button?
Oh, me?
Yeah, I think you're the one that disables the camera.
There we go.
All right, we'll play our last game that way just to make sure that the video is able to manage that. Apologies to the viewers,
Sure.
but it's probably better to see nothing than to see and hear nothing. This is our final game with Lichess Master Atrophied. He's been winning every game, which has made my rating lose several points. But it was been all worth it as we've learned how to play Crazy House, or rather, how not to play Crazy House. So back to the double king pawn. C3, that is a twist as well. So you're opening up the C2 square.
Yeah, I don't know how good this is.
I wonder if I should rush to castle. Check. This works in chess, so it's got to work in Crazy House. That's logical, right?
Maybe. Okay, just do this.
Oh, you have such a knack for making me feel uncomfortable in my chess position here. You're going to sacrifice on f7, I take it?
Why not?
Or rather, you take it would be a better phrase. Light squares. Once again, this is the kind of thing where I'd play bishop g4. But once again, you know, I'm giving away pieces, right? It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because you're adding fuel to the fire.
Let's keep the pieces on the board. So as a Bughouse player, I'm kind of a Bughouse player as well. So I think if I give away a bunch of pieces, it's the other board that has the problem. But not so here. I'm responsible for my own blunders on this chessboard. Okay, so as long as you never get any knights, you can never check me.
I'll attack 2 knights then.
Oh, you forked my knights! This is exciting. You have a knight
I
and
have
3
very
pawns?
little regard for my queen in Crazy House.
Really?
Yes.
It's so valuable that you don't care about it, right? It's like that.
No, I think it's only worth like 2 pieces.
Oh, just because it can only attack one thing at a time. Or capture one thing at a time, unlike 2 pieces, which can do twice as much. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean the queen is it's very good for like finishing attacks, but usually you need pawns and minor pieces to start attacks.
So what would you say the strength of the pieces are? I take it rooks aren't quite as potent as they would be in chess either, because the ability to move around the board is not as important if the board is full of pieces.
Well, and also pieces in hand have uh, very high mobility, like in terms of being able to place them anywhere. So, and in chess, like what determines the piece strength is how mobile they are. Like the queen is the most valuable piece because it can go the most places. And in Crazy House, that importance diminishes a lot. And I think that's why the queen is less valuable in Crazy House.
Interesting, interesting. So the knights and bishops are both pretty strong relatively. Would you want to give numbers on those so that I can quote you?
uh, I mean, I guess if I was giving numbers, I think of queen as like 4, knight, bishop, rook is 2, and pawn is 1. Although it can depend on the position a lot more than its position dependent in chess.
Oh, that is so interesting because pawns are valuable. It brings everything down.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't feel
they're
comfortable
all a
about
lot
this at all.
closer to each other.
That's really interesting to me. Thank you for that insight. My king feels bad. Oh, something happened to my dark squares.
Yeah, well, now you've given me more fuel with knight
More.
takes
So I
e4.
need to remember anything that you capture will be held against me in a court of law.
Yep.
Okay, so let's just die quickly here. Wow,
Mm.
this has really been fascinating. I've definitely picked up some of my errors, and I hope you viewers also have learned from these games. I think it's been great having the expert on the show. Oh no! Oh no! Good thing I have a queen. That saved me right there. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time, for
Yeah,
beating
thanks
me
for
over and
having
over.
me.
After seeing the play, or um, yeah, after seeing my play, do you have any other pointers besides all the mistakes I've called out for me?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I was getting good positions out of the opening, but I think that's just bound to happen when you're playing someone higher rated. Doesn't seem
Right.
like I wouldn't guess that you get bad positions when you're, playing a more fair matchup.
Well, that's very generous of you to expect.
Um, so yeah, I think value your material a bit higher is the biggest
Hmm.
point that I'd give.
Okay, so don't be so sacrificial. The game is not that crazy.
Yeah.
If there'd be one opening for players my level and for the viewership to study in order to have a solid understanding of Crazy House openings, what do you think the most important opening is to focus on?
I think E4, E5. It's the most common, and it has a lot of good ideas. Like that queen sacrifice line that we played a few games in is very topical. The
Hmm.
idea of that gives a few things, like the idea that the queen isn't necessarily worth as much in chess, and also the importance of pins, because that whole line is predicated upon pins. I mean, white's pin on the knight on f6 is what kind of entices the queen sack, and then black's pin on the knight on f3 is where black finds the compensation.
Right. So some of the themes that really come out over and over in Crazy House are present in that opening. So you can probably learn a lot about a lot of different openings by learning those dynamics.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is FRLM, Lee Chess Master Atrophied. And now I'm pressing the goodbye button. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Next episode, we're going to play a crazy, crazy variant, something we've never done before again. This is something I thought up, never even tested, never even tried, but I do want to try it on you, the viewership, next episode. It's going to be Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. Here's the rules. If you can move a pawn, and you didn't move a pawn last move, and the opponent didn't move a last... Let me start over. If neither you or your opponent moved a pawn last move, so let's say you moved your knight, he moved his knight, then you must move a pawn, unless you're in check. So your pawns are basically being forced to advance. You have to move a pawn if there wasn't one moved recently. And if you can't, you lose. So you need to create space in front of your pawns to advance them. This is going to be so mind-bending. There's probably going to be a lot of cheating going on, but I'm really looking forward to try this variant with you, the viewership. So join us live at, once again, Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT at twitch.tv/chesswiz. You can try this variant out with me. If you can't make it live, that is okay. It's going to be on YouTube as well at youtube.com. Just type chesswiz and then be like, no, I didn't mean cheese whiz. I hate cheese whiz. And then you'll find the episodes. That's going to be great. Either way, let's switch back to the view with the quote. So it turns out that atrophied actually means amazing crazy house player. I thought it meant that your muscles shrink, but now we know with atrophied, you can dominate at crazy house. This has been Chess with TV. Thanks for watching.